Hi guys, how you
Hello.
doing?
Hey. Welcome back.
How was your day?
It's good, you
How's
know,
your
can't complain.
week?
The
How
sun's
you
out.
feeling?
You know what they say?
Yeah, the sun
Sun's
is out.
guns out.
Huh?
That's what they say. Yeah? That's what they say. Hey, we don't
You
promote
guys
that, but
are
yeah.
looking lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at you.
We're looking handsome.
The voice at the back there, say.
Clack it.
Oh,
Good
mate.
to see you guys. Welcome
Yes.
back to Baggage Claim. You know what to do.
Baggage
You know what it
Claim,
is.
Yes,
We're about
sir.
to claim it.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you to Diva Studios.
Yeah, big shout out to Diva
Big
Studios.
up
Big up the one and only Diva Studios.
Yes, that's where we're at right now. As you can see, the
Yes, our
sound is
new
great.
home.
The
Our
sound
new
is great.
home,
The
away
visuals
from
is great.
home.
Yes.
The
Very
setup
well.
is great. We're looking great.
Do a heart like a
heart,
Gen
a heart.
Z.
I'm not no Gen
Like
Z.
this,
I ain't no
it's
Gen Z,
this.
but I know
Oh,
what they
yeah.
be meaning.
Yeah, it's
Is
like
it that
this.
one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I got it. I
No,
got
but-
it. Vanessa, that looks
But it's a barrel.
disabled.
That's a Congolese heart.
Big up to the one and only Mr. Diva.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Diva's
Yes,
out
sir.
here.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
It's great space. If you guys want to use this, you're based in Manchester.
Yeah.
Details will be down below in the
Down
description.
below.
Therefore, down below.
Jersey.
in the
Make sure you
description.
hit 'em up.
Deserve.
Yes, sir.
So you guys heard us last week. We were talking about education. We're still on that theme. We're taking a little bit of a tangent this week,
Okay.
talking about friendships, bullying,
Mm-hmm.
the not nice side of schooling.
Yeah.
The side of schooling that usually is untold,
Yes.
Untold.
Yes.
untold, misunderstood, and
Not looked at enough.
yeah, not looked at it enough.
Not looked at enough. I'll be damned though if you bully my kid. I'm putting it out there right now. You see, as a parent, if my son comes back and my son daughter says this person's bullying me, I'm going straight to the parent
I saw a video.
because
I saw a
it
video.
must be the parent, bro.
Yeah.
It's not the kid. I can't.
Literally
I'm a heart
today,
of the dad.
when I was chilling, I don't know where I saw something. A mother slapped a head teacher. I better get him back up.
Of the
My
girl.
mom's done that, you know.
No, a head teacher, and they sent her to hospital.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, some lady smacked the head teacher.
I mean,
Oh.
there was also a video circulating of a dad who hit a girl
Yes.
who was
I
bullying
remember
his
that.
child.
Yes.
You see,
And then the girl was like, call the police.
I don't. You see things like that. Yeah, I will never say go to the child. Go to the parent.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
this was
banging up your dad.
I will say
Big
go
man.
to the. Me personally,
Yeah.
like if it was me in that situation, like me,
Your dad's getting slide tackled.
I'm just saying,
Slide
like, I'll go
tackle.
meet your dad and I'll be like, I'm coming to you
Yeah.
as the appropriate adult,
Yeah.
as the father,
Yeah.
as the mother.
Yeah.
But
Please, I do not want to hear this repeat again with my child.
And if it does,
If
you're
it
getting
does,
it.
bruv,
You're getting
gonna
it.
meet
And
me
if
in the
I have to
parking
pull up
lot,
with a
bruv.
man, I'll pull up
You
with a
see,
man.
you,
then.
Right.
you lot are going through. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shank, whatever.
Nobody's
But-
saying
Shank.
shank.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
you lot are talking
Nobody
about
works.
aggressiveness.
Nobody works for
You
Gordon
trigger
Ramsay.
want to be doing
Whoa.
aggressiveness.
Nobody works for Gordon Ramsay.
Listen,
We're not chefs.
simple as if it's bullying, and say for example your child comes home and it continues, and you go to the parent and they don't understand. Listen, take it legal action. I kid you not.
I don't have
Legal
time.
action. Well, you may say you don't have time, but I can guarantee you that parent there, they don't have time, and the consequences are serious.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to minors, they not. Be
What's the
playing.
legal actions? What? To get from the bone of the police?
That's all our
It
box,
can
you
be
know. Someone's
harassment,
dad
it can
will
be
get it.
social, interference.
you guys are going
Up to
straight
you.
to the end where the bullying's happened and this is a consequence of that. Let's reel it back a bit. Just, you know, why do kids bully?
Because certain people.
Why would they target a certain type of people? We're going to talk about that next Netflix episode. I'm sure you guys have all seen and all heard of Adolescence,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
touches a little bit on this topic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so trigger warning for everybody watching. We are
Yes.
not experts in this. We are only giving you our opinions. So
Facts.
please take it with a pinch of salt or maybe
Obviously, we know
a
about
bite of
opinion and
sugar
The salt
because
bait.
it might be
The
sweet
salt
and
bait.
salty.
The salt.
But this is our thoughts and opinions. So yeah, go educate yourselves on it too. But bullying happens. I've been bullied.
Same.
Swear down.
Same.
I used to play football with the mandem in school and that.
Right, slide tackling that.
So even my accent just changed because I was just like, yeah, let me go. Yeah,
Are you
the
playing
voice.
footer?
Football.
Yeah.
So in primary, all the boys used to want me to play football with them because I was really good at it. Yeah, I used to do long distance running. I was on the athletics team. Look at me now. I need Ozempic.
I'm getting paper.
Oh gosh, stop it.
Manjaro.
Maybe
it.
Manjaro sponsor me.
Oh gosh.
No. So, and I don't know exactly what was the reasoning, but there was a particular male, a particular boy who just didn't like me on the football field. Maybe I was better than him. I don't know. But I was also in a lower year than him. So he was in year 6 at the time. I think I was in like year 4. And
Mad. Year 6 and year 4.
yeah, so he used to be like, calling me names, pushing me around, And I went and I told my brothers, and I was like, this boy keeps pushing me and touching me, like I don't like it. And I tell him to stop, and he's like, So one day, we were walking home, and this boy, me and my brothers saw this boy, and they were like, "Hey, you!" They just told him off, just gave him a stern speaking to. Mind you that he was also in primary school like me, and this boy went and told his mum, and his mum chased us with her car. She almost ran us over. I know.
Gosh.
But the school didn't do anything.
See, you see, in schools and things like that, there's ways you can deal with things. And also, and this is going to sound mad, and this is going to be a big allege, certain teachers pick on certain students.
Teachers do the bullying too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
100%
Yeah.
they do.
But going back to what you were saying, there are certain formalities that you have to follow up with when it comes to bullying. As much as I can say, yeah, I'll do the mad thing, but there's ways that I'll test the waters first. So I'll make it known to teachers. I'll make it known to safeguarding. I'll make it known to whoever the main people are. If you guys do not take the appropriate measures to protect my child, then you're going to see a different side of me. Because I've showed you guys already that I am warning you guys if anything else happens to my child. But the problem here is certain schools do not pick up on certain things when it's brewing. They only pick it up when somebody's had a reaction.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be because somebody's given a reaction that you're intervening. It should be already as you've seen something, you put an end to it.
Yeah. So then how do parents, how are students supposed to bring this to the attention of the people who are supposed to protect them? Because a big element of this is fear.
Fear of what? To be fair, you see, fear comes in when you don't trust somebody. Fear comes in when you don't trust somebody. When a child does not trust somebody, that's when there's fear. But when a child trusts you, the child will be able to come and tell you something and confide in you. So, for example, I used to work in a behavior role, and kids will not have. So, what happens in a classroom? Sometimes there's a classroom of 20 or 20. It's a big classroom. Yeah, let's just say a class of 20 or 21. How many is in a class? Sometimes 30, innit?
Yeah, sometimes 30.
Yeah.
27
so now,
average.
Now imagine you as a one person voice of reason, you're teaching all them kids. Yeah. Now one kid come tell you, Miss Voice, this person done it to me. Okay, cool. Detention. Like you're constantly hearing that. Bear in mind, you've got 6 or 5 period of all that every single day. You're not gonna always take it in all the time. Yeah. That's one point. Second of all, certain teachers don't come to teach; they just come to get a salary.
What do you mean?
So basically, they know
isn't your job as a teacher to teach?
but they're just coming to teach. So basically, they will not come and go over. They will not do the extra stuff to make you understand. It's like certain lectures in uni. They'll give it to you. Here's a presentation. Here's your work. Can you know? Whereas in school as well, there's certain people that will do the same, or the adults will be like, you know what? Let's do certain things, and they will expand. But that's not what I'm trying to enter into. The ways that children should confess or express themselves if they're able to now trust you. If there's some element of trust there, they'll be like, Mr. Voice, you know what? Can I confide in you or something? The only way they can do that if they've got a relationship with you. And
but teachers don't have time to have relationships with other students.
Kids do have relationship with teachers. You will be shocked. You will be shocked.
I can't lie.
Yes. When a child likes you, they will make it known, and people always. And the problem is
make it known.
Huh?
Yeah,
yes.
They will.
Like you'll say
I
that's
say
their
these
favourite
things
teacher.
because obviously teaching is my background. I believe also is yours as well.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But it's because I know this thing and I've been in this environment. Do you get me? But the problem when it comes to bullying is when kids they don't have somebody to run to. They don't have a safe haven to. That's when it starts to become building up. And then when it's building up now, a kid will react. For example, I remember one time I worked in a school where a kid came from a foreign country, could not speak English properly. And now they're getting bullied because of the accent.
Yeah.
And then that child
Happens very
now
often.
starts to become now shy, starts to lose confidence. Next thing you know, the kid's thinking about malicious stuff in their mind. And then it makes a big issue now for the family at home, because why are you sending it to school and it becoming an issue like this? So yeah.
Yeah, I think schools don't take bullying as serious as they should, because a lot of kids have lost their lives through bullying. Like just the story that you just said, where when I came from Congo, obviously I didn't speak English, so a lot of bullying came from the fact that I didn't speak the language. All they'll do is make monkey sounds and all of this and all the extras and spitting on you and all this and all of that. So there was one teacher, God bless him, he was the one that I would come, because he could speak French as well. It made it a lot easier because he was the only one I could fully communicate with properly. Do you get what I'm saying? So he kind of relayed every emotion that I was feeling, because I didn't know how to let out that emotion. So I got into fights a lot. I'd fight a lot because I couldn't communicate it. The only way to do is, well, I must defend myself. Do you get what I'm saying? I had there's one instances where I was in a canteen. I hadn't gotten school dinners yet, so I had to bring food from home. My mum, being my mum, she made me fufu, fumba, and a dom son in the pad lunch. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm ready to eat up my food and like that.
Wash this hand.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, I put my food on the table ready to eat. Do you know what this guy did? He came and he spat on my food. Like fully spat on my food.
Yeah, let's get it cracking.
Lost
Let's
the plot.
get it
I
cracking.
lost it.
Let's get
But
it
at
cracking.
the same time, when I got detention, I was the first person to get put on red report in year 7, right? So through that, because we got into a fight and stuff, because I was thinking, bro, what the hell? So when I got put into that and I went home and explained to my parents what happened, they also didn't take. They just thought, you're just troublemaking. You're a troublemaker. You're making trouble. I'm like, this is what happened. I'm telling you what happened. So parents also have to listen to their kids, because
But it also falls
this
down
is what
to
happened.
if you misbehave at home, they'll also think. Say for example, in parents' eyes, oh, there's certain things that they want you to do and you don't do, and now you go now do something in school and it comes back home. So for them, it's like so they're gonna relay it back together when really and truly that's not the case.
And I hear it, but I don't hear it. I don't hear it in the sense of, if I'm telling you these guys have spit on me, spit on my food, done this, you should straight away stand up as a parent and be like, I'm not
Why
having
are they
that.
spitting in your food?
Yeah, I'm not having that. Let's go speak
How are you
to a
supposed to
teacher
eat the food?
about, do you get what I'm saying?
It's
So now I've
lunchtime.
gone all day without eating because he decided to spit in my food.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But what did the school
So
do? What did,
the
school
apart
did,
from...
the school did nothing, because I was seen as the aggressor. I got put in a red
But did you
report
not
card.
show them the food he's
I
batting?
showed them everything, but to be honest, I got the food and I put it all over his face because I
Fair
was just
dues,
like,
man.
yeah, man. So
Well
my
done
poor
gets like
dumb
that
son
sometimes.
gone. But
Yeah, let him walk home with
do you
that
get what I'm
fumba
saying?
in
Like,
your
he
eye.
actually had to go home because his whole clothes, like, you know, the school uniforms. At the time, we had the jumper,
Blue.
The
and
jumpers, the polo,
yeah.
yeah.
So we didn't have blazers.
School uniform used to bang
So,
like that.
so yeah, so his school, all his school was there. They had to call his parents to send him home, and obviously he then played on that
And
saying.
then for them, they'll be thinking, because the child has to go to extreme measures to look
Ye-
presentable,
yeah.
you must
You
have
mu-
been the...
yeah. So you must have been the problem. But yeah, so as much as I blame the school's not taking it serious, but I also blame the parents, because I'm like, if my kid comes and tells me he's being bullied, I need to understand where's that coming from and why, how did that start? But if I stay quiet and I close my hands and then one day, God forbid, my kid commits suicide, I can't blame nobody.
Oh.
Do you get what I mean? Because I wasn't listening to him. I wasn't that. If anything, parents are supposed to be the safe haven. This is my safe space.
Yeah.
Just like you said, someone to trust. So if it's that person I'm coming to trust, I'm telling you this has happened, and you're not
Yeah,
believing me,
But parents can be very hard-headed.
and I hear it, but I don't hear it at the
Meaning?
same time.
Meaning, in a
Mutu
sense, as in,
makasi.
like, you tell them, Mama is like, ngate bangun to babanda kango, ponin you betaki. If I don't think about better, yo, but if I get beat up now, what happens then?
You get what I mean?
No, it's
They
real.
hit
It's
you,
real.
turn your left cheek.
It's real.
Turn your left cheek,
I'm not
turn your
Jesus.
right cheek.
Nazan
And then they're
Zambia
gonna
did.
hit your left cheek again. Nyatabango.
Jesus.
Oh, so sorry.
No.
But it's the truth. It's the
Stand up for yourself.
Certain parents will tell you that.
No, facts. I've heard that one before.
There will be arguments, bro.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like, bro,
No.
like, if I get caved in now,
It's long.
and I come back,
It's
bit.
long.
If I
The
don't
thing
better
about
bang
them,
no. So the thing about thank you, they'll be like, pon your better bang.
Yeah.
You're so
Why did you hit them back? Look at you, you're a weakling.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
This little you is
So-
a
And then now I'm
You're
going into
right.
school the next day. I'm vexed because everything that you've said now is in my ear.
Yeah.
Cece, you know what I'm talking about. It's in my head. So now I have to go back home, go back in that school and do a madness because I can't let this go. Male ego is a thing.
Oh,
And
we're
it's
gonna get
it's
to
built
that
from
in a
early,
minute.
From early, but anyway, yeah, we'll get to that. Go on.
But when it comes to bullying, like I think one thing we have to understand as educators, parents, or any sort of guardianship, yeah.
Can I just say something? You just said something key there. You know when you said educators, yeah? The first educators are parents.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
continue. I'll come back to that.
So educators, parents, or guardians, okay, we have to understand something. We are not in that social educational environment in which we are sending our children in. We do not know what these kids are like. We don't know what sort of education they're coming from home and bringing it to school.
Yeah.
And all of that is just basically a little Pandora box. You don't know what is happening or being put inside there, yeah? And when it comes to bullying per se, I always think that when another child or another student is bullying another student, instead it stems from some form of insecurity or it stems from a form of lack of love, somewhere lack of something that they're trying to project, and they choose a child as a victim.
Yeah.
Because when they choose that child as a victim, it always seems to be the child that's quiet, the child that's alone, the child that doesn't have, much friends, the child who, say, for example, is the brainiest in the class, but, for example, like you said, we don't always see them sat at the dinner table with their other friends or whatever, something, and they'll pick on it. Yeah. But one thing that
Child that wears glasses and smells.
Yeah, the one that wears glasses apparently.
Where'd you look at him for?
I was looking.
First of all, I don't.
I was looking at all of you.
You know, damn well,
Personally, I wouldn't
I
have
don't
that.
smell.
Personally, I wouldn't have the
choose-
He was even like,
Yes,
come
yes.
again?
and looked at you. So I'm thinking,
I was
one,
trying to look.
the
I'm
voice
trying to look
one.
at who she looking at for. It's not me. But yeah, go on.
personally, I'm just saying, personally, I wouldn't have that, like. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, she
Personally,
knows
like,
I don't
I wouldn't have
smoke.
that.
But yeah, go on.
Oh gosh, you forgot what I was saying.
The voice.
You said insecurities.
Yeah, so it stems from some form of insecurities or lack of. And I really do truly believe, like how you mentioned before, parents, we need to listen. We need to be vigilant of our children. Certain behaviors will change or certain behaviors will manifest in a way that you think, they're just growing up.
Teenagers.
Yeah, they're becoming adolescents. They're entering into this field. But where does that come from though?
With that, our parents haven't gone through the school system like we have.
No, some of them have not even gone to school.
So we have gone through school here and we know how it works.
Yeah.
So we, as the parents that we are, or the parents that we're going to become, we already know that we already know that, okay, cool, these are the flags of bullying. Get me? Bullying, it comes, you start seeing somebody isolating themselves. Get me? Somebody becoming detached. Sometimes with the line of work that I've seen is smell. Do you understand me? Sometimes is hygiene.
And can I just add on to that? Sometimes the kids don't even know that because they're transitioning.
There's symptoms.
There's
symptoms that it shows. Going back to what I said prior before you started, it's the first educator is your parent. The problem here is there are ways that our parents should be educating themselves when it comes to these things. Parents should be able to take in what the child is saying and then find a way to act upon it. Because
Give an example.
So,
please.
for example, a kid comes and says, I'm getting bullied because of my lack of English. Yeah? I'm getting bullied because of that. And now, instead of you now finding a way to help that child or put something in place, you're saying, next thing you know, your child is getting bullied in school by 5 kids in the school. Now your child now has caved one in, given them a one bang. Now they're in isolation. Plus, certain
See,
schools,
Harry went road straight away.
certain schools, but I think that they'll send a letter home to let you know what's happened. She go, yo, who you gonna tell? Who's gonna be the troublemaker here? Your child or the person that's bullying your child? In your eyes, your child, because the school have come and said that your child has done this and they've been in isolation, but the child has been telling that mama, this is what's been going on.
So what I'm hearing is that parents push back in the system because it seems as though schools also tend to just pick a side.
Basically.
They do.
Yeah.
And race is a thing, by the way. Race is a thing. Let's not ignore that.
Yeah.
Because automatically as us being black, and I didn't want to bring it there, but it's this is my reality, innit? The way my high school experience went. The black people and the white people are treated very different.
They get
when it comes to when it comes to although we may not start it and we'll finish it, but we'll still be looked at as the aggressor. Although they could come, let's say 3 of them, and they're just all day they're just being it on you. Eventually you're gonna think, you know what? Forget this.
Let me give you an example.
Peer pressure is also a part of this whole thing, you know.
Yeah. Because you see, for example, you see where he was like, oh, personally, I wouldn't have it. Do you get what I'm saying? That personally, I wouldn't have it can go so left so quick.
Yeah?
Because he was like, no.
Personally?
But it can go. It can. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's him saying, what are you going to do about that? Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking, I need to check that. Do you get what I mean?
You know that can get you in trouble.
Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you an example from something that happened in my previous educational establishment, and from the teacher perspective as an educator and also as a group of students. So outside of school, a group of boys from a particular minority group were, picking on a group of girls who, look like me and dress like me. And they were making pictures of them and comparing it to monkeys and baboons.
Hey.
And they sent it around the school. That's another thing. Be wary of what these kids are posting because it can go either really
cyberbullying.
Oh, mate, it's serious. And these kids came to school and said, hey, listen, this is what's happening. This is what our parents have done. Their parents told the local authorities and they put something in place. But these kids thought, nothing's going to happen to us. They came into school and they hyped it up even more. And these group of girls, they were getting really infuriated because they were like, I want to act upon it. I want to tell them, how dare you do that? Because obviously it's prejudice against them. What are you doing? And they got into the position during a particular, I think it was a fire alarm. They were huddled together and they were going back and forth. You better stop it. You don't know how it affects other people. And the boys like, oh yeah, whatever. They just think it's a minor, isn't it? And then these group of girls came to now me as an educator. Miss, what are you going to do about it? A lot of them, you can imagine, single little petite teacher, 5'2", surrounded by girls taller than me, bigger than me, shorter than me.
You felt like you're getting moved to?
No, not moved to, but they were manifesting their frustration. They were showing how angry they were. And it was painted.
It's a riot.
Literally.
Overwhelming though if she's by herself.
As a teacher, I was the only person at that time. I was ambushed by them, but also it was their frustration, their, aggression was labeled like as if, they're bad kids, they're causing trouble, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, as a group of students, how would you expect them to go about it? That's one.
Yeah.
And two, another member of staff, another teacher who, and I will say this very proudly, who does not understand what it's like to be in a place of prejudice, to be taking that on board, and your reaction is to not react because you're going to react about it later.
Huh?
No, wait.
I don't understand.
Your reaction is to not react immediately. You will react later in the right way because you need to know how the school system works. A lie? So they went and told my head of department, this teacher did not act professionally. And what she had done was a heightening example of how black teachers should not be acting because she was aggressive. Listen. I never had the most bluntest, directest, but very open conversation with my head of department. I gave her the scenario. I broke it down to her and I said to her, how would you have reacted? And I sat there and I waited and she didn't give me an answer. And I said to her, okay, my reaction now towards the teacher first, because she got under my skin. I thought, how would you have reacted?
Yeah.
This is what's happening, but you're blaming the victim.
Yeah, instead of blaming you.
And I just said to her, I want a report. internal report. I want her to be investigated. I'm going to also put that as some form of harassment or what's it called? Wait, blaming. No. You're doing something to someone's character. What do you call it?
Definition.
Yeah. I said to her, defamation of character.
Definition,
and I said to her, she better be ready for what's coming because it's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then these kids were like, Miss, so how should we now be reacting to this? So where do you go from that? Because that's bullying.
Yeah.
And then it's not just happening to kids. I can't lie. It's happening to adults as well.
It happens. In most professional environments, things like this go on. And also, sometimes when you bring it to HR, aka the higher ups and that, they've always got this way of saying they're going to support you, but it gets nipped in the bud.
Can I give you a piece of advice?
Let me tell you the truth.
In teaching, there's a book called The Burgundy Book. My friend, read it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that these people do through our unions, that Burgundy Book is basically the Bible for teachers. And I didn't know of this until recently. I wasn't put aware on this. My goodness, they think they can get away with a lot of stuff. But we thank God for union reps. If you're not part of a union, for any educators out there, get on
Join
one. Because you will need it. If there's something that you are not happy with that the school is administering because they say it's policy or protocol, no, it ain't.
Yeah.
It's like knowing your laws. You need to know the rights of the establishment that you're working in.
Yeah. And to add on to what you just said, and I think this is important for the kids. I think it's important if they put training in place, training in the sense of where kids know who to speak to when they're being bullied, who to contact when they're being bullied, and ways to put in anonymously where they can put in a message, without them feeling like someone would
persecute them.
Persecute them for them. Do you get what I'm saying? So there need to be ways of where you can say someone can just come to you and speak. Do you get what I'm saying? And just say, but this is what's happening.
All teachers are trustworthy, though.
I was gonna say,
and I understand that, but this is where the union and stuff comes in, because you need to have a system where kids can't be dying because they're being bullied so much in school. School is supposed to be a place of somewhere where you enjoy, you learn how to grow, you understand your personality and your characters.
It's a safe space to make mistakes.
You're there. Think about it. The kids are there from what? Is it 8 a.m. till about
8:30?
8:30 till 3:15.
Yeah, sometimes even longer because after school clubs and all that. So you're spending a lot of time from Monday to Friday in school. So this is somewhere where you're supposed to feel...
How many weeks? 56 weeks?
You feel, you're supposed to feel safe.
56 weeks.
I don't know.
56 weeks is crazy.
Longer.
It's crazy, but now all jokes aside, though, there need to be a way where kids feel they are safe. Schools are not checking. Think about when we were growing up. Think about how easy it was to sneak things into school.
How easy it was to sneak out of school too.
Think about how it was so easy because nobody's paying attention. Nobody's watching the kids.
Oh no!
As a teacher, if you've got 26 kids, yeah, cool. It might be a lot, but you should still be able to. If you care about your job, you'll be able to know when Becky's not in the classroom.
Becky, where you at?
When Jordan is not there, when
you
Tyrone is missed a couple of lessons, you should be able to say, actually, no, I'm not seeing him for a while.
Yeah.
Wapi Cisse, do you get what I'm saying? Let me check on.
But you
get what I'm saying? Like,
you know, even that changes as you go higher in the education system, right?
Yeah.
So in primary school, if they're not there, ma'am, you get a fine.
Yeah.
High
Especially in
school,
primary, yeah.
you get a fine.
And in high school,
But
yeah.
There's also loopholes.
Yeah.
Before we dive into that, I just wanted to add on to what you were saying about, safe havens and places for the students as well as for teachers.
Yeah.
And for either parties, whether it's teachers, or educators or anyone who works in the school environment, as well as the kids, the person who is administering or supporting these two different groups of people, can they also be trained? I am personally sick and tired of having people who are not trained in microaggressions, understanding binaries, being able to realize that this is a form of verbal abuse. Like, you need to be trained. Some of my colleagues didn't even know what a microaggression was. This is a microaggression. Oh, what have you got here today, Vanessa?
Yeah.
What's that you're eating? Rice and pundu. Oh, really? What's it made out of? Well, it's not made out of beans and chips now, is it?
One time, somebody looked at. I was eating rice and pundu. It was a professional environment, but it wasn't so professional. So like, I was eating it. The person was like this, and it's like
so rude.
I can't. Sorry, mate, but that looks like a 3.5 on rice.
Huh?
It looks what?
That's
A what?
It looks like a 3.5 on a rice.
3.5 on rice.
No.
What's
So
a 3.5?
is
Oh,
is-
milligrams.
No.
Oh!
But it's the marijuana.
Oh.
He's saying it looks like you put marijuana. 3.5 is a fat one as well. Marijuana on rice is horrendous. Not that I would know, but you know.
Nah,
it's
I
crazy.
do know. We get trained to recognize stuff like this. But 3.5
What did you
That's
say?
insane.
Microaggression.
The thing about me, I know how she, when it comes
That
to
would have
work
gone
politics,
through on it.
I started laughing because I knew if I
That's
reacted
so
a certain
dumb,
way, it would have went left.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Nah, it's a culture food that we eat.
Yeah.
I've made him understand what it is now. And then I pulled my manager to the side. I'm like, yo, like, my man made this comment and rare. Just know that this is how I felt about it. But I kind of laughed. But at the same time as well, he exposed himself and what he does and what he knows.
100%.
Does that make sense?
3.5.
Oh, you
on
thought
the
deep
rice.
into that, didn't ya?
Yeah.
3.5.
But this also goes to show how much restraint we have to have.
100%. No,
as
but if,
people.
listen,
Like,
if you're
So
already
what was
being-
he
if
supposed to
you're-
do?
No,
Lick off?
No, but what I'm saying
If you're
is-
being labeled already,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, we've got no other choice. But why is it that we have to be the better person or the bigger person, or we have to be komiki tisa because it's a professional environment? Okay, cool. But why is it that when you go to our countries, you get me?
Pesa bango toli.
Do you
Na
understand me?
respect.
So, like, for example, it's like, okay, you can act a certain way in a certain place.
Mhm.
We can't act a certain way in a certain place because you think you're hiding this because of the different color your couleur.
But this is where. Anyway, if we get into this, it's gonna get long.
Yeah.
No, but no, it all connects in a
does link,
sense.
But I think right now let's just focus on the kids and the bullying, because I think if we start to get into
No, but
the
do you know,
race side of
do you
things-
know why I say that? Yeah, because I worked in a kola all basi.
Yeah.
I've seen how bano baza kulang na biso,
Mhm.
na bano baza kulang na biso te batreta bango.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Do you understand?
Facts.
Yeah.
And a kola bana basi is worse than a mixed school or an all boys school.
Why?
Girls are crazy compared to boys.
Excuse me?
What?
Yeah, girls.
Like behavior wise, and I might no, but tell the truth. You're an educator.
I'm
You
going to be
witnessed
honest.
it.
I have worked in a
So it's not
comprehensive mixed
something
school
that-
and a
but
single boys
you
school,
will
and
see
they're
it.
all right.
But
That's why I
you
wouldn't want to work in
it's
an all-girls
there.
school.
I say this because it's that experience as an educator. Do you get me? But it's one of them ones there where it's like, now these kids, when they bring up matters, they have to now find a way to not get a backlash from it, not get in trouble, not be looking like bango mutu bazo créer ba problème.
So, yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah.
So then let's segue into adolescence then,
Okay.
because this conversation has touched on a lot of things
Yeah.
that was portrayed in this Netflix limited series. Y'all have seen it, right?
Yeah.
Not really, but I'm aware of it.
First of all, why have you not seen it? You
Because
knew we were going to talk about it.
I've been
It's
up
been
and
trending.
I've been out and about, literally. Like for the past 3 days, I've
See
really
how
been
he's
out and about.
exposing himself.
So I'll give a quick summary.
Wow.
Well, I didn't say nothing.
So Adolescence is the story of a 13-year-old who was charged for murder
Okay.
for his colleague at high school.
Okay.
And the story is just about him,
Mm-hmm.
how he got to do the thing, the
Mhm.
cameras. In fact, the production is quite unique in the way it was shot and everything, which kudos to the producers on that, because they did it in a single shot. But it portrayed a lot of things. When we talked about bullying, we talked about friendship, we talked about race, we talked about educators. So this Netflix series goes into all of that. It gives you a little bit of a snippet, maybe a little bit of a biased snippet of what they want us to see. But let me hand it over to you guys. Just let me know what you think. I have my own opinions about it, but it'll be good to hear from you guys also in the comments.
Yes.
Tell
let
us
know.
if
Yeah.
you have seen Adolescence. I know our
So-
Congolese parents out here are talking.
Maybe they haven't even got
Sorry,
Netflix
I got a
to
question
watch
to
it.
ask here. I got a quick question to ask. Innit? Give a quick. This I just read. I just typed in something. and I've just read up something quickly about the series. Yeah, I want someone to just summarize it quickly, and then there's something that is being brought here. There's another film that's similar to Adolescence. Is it Adolescence or Adolescence?
Adolescence.
Wait, what
It's
other
okay,
film
English
did it
is
show
not
you?
his first
I just gave
language.
you a summary. What summary do you want?
No. There's another film called Luther. Have you seen that?
About the devil?
No, with
The
the guy from the
Idris.
yes.
Mm.
Do you
Oh,
see
no,
the
I've not
correct?
seen it,
Do you
I've
see the
not seen
correct connection? Yes or no?
We've not seen. I've not
I've
seen.
not
that.
haven't
seen
seen
Lucifer
it
like
yet.
that.
I haven't seen
Okay,
it yet.
cool. That's fine. It's pointless of
What
me
was I gonna
bringing it.
say?
Now it's also because I just read about it. Also dives into social media, how also has an effect. You get me? So Luther, just gonna be quick. It's basically there's a detective,
Yeah.
but there's a guy who is causing people to kill themselves because he's controlling them by social media
Oh, I
and
think I
taking
see,
videos
yeah,
of
yeah, I
them
think I
and
see.
using it against them. So say for example, he'll help you dive into your sexual desires or whatever it is. He'll record you, and then each and every single time he'll now he'll blackmail you. Now if you no longer want to do it, he'll expose your stuff and ruin your life publicly.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
get
I
me?
see.
So
It's similar to Black Mirror. There's a Black Mirror episode on that one.
Sounds like Nduki to me.
Have you never seen Black Mirror?
nah, I haven't.
I have.
But
Oh, yeah, go on.
when now we talk about
crafty
the
show.
adolescence thing, that's why I want to hear it, and then I know how I can connect it to it because there's a lot of things in with social media. It has a lot of influence when it comes to education.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and and also the black culture has a big role to play in education. The way you dress, the way you speak, what you listen to, what you wear, who you hang around with.
Tattoos,
Do
piercings.
you understand? So yes, I can't lie.
Glasses,
Shots fired again. Shots fired
What did
again.
I do? You don't
Colour
know
of your
if
shirt.
Shots fired again. But yeah, man, take away, guys.
You can start because I've not finished the series. I started it, but I've not finished it. But go ahead.
Okay, so Adolescence is, like the voice had already explained, is about a young 13-year-old boy. It's a crime drama 4-episode series that talks and reveals this boy's decisions in committing such a heinous crime. And the crime that he commits is to another student the same age as him at the same school. However, during the midst of when he was, arrested and throughout his time or journey in the what's called police station, he was advocating his innocence. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
He even looked his dad in the eye and said,
Listen, Daddy, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Daddy, it wasn't me.
yeah. And his dad believed
Believed
him.
him. His father believed him. But towards the end, and sorry for ruining it for you, and for
No,
those
no,
of you at home who are watching this or listening to this, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna
Spoiler
have to
alert.
spoiler alert.
He did it.
He did it.
He did
There
it.
is visual evidence.
Yep.
There is, recordings. There are CCTV cameras that capture him committing the crime. And it's kind of funny because he somewhat changes his plea from not guilty to guilty over the phone to his father in the car when the whole family were in the car, so they all heard it. So there is an element, of portrayal, depiction, innocence, and whatever. Now, my approach to Adolescence, I think it is a good dramatization. Thank you to Philip Baranti, I believe I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you to man like Philip. You did your thing. However, I think it is such, obviously as an educator, it is such a mismatched or inexperienced portrayal of teachers, because I believe teachers are definitely portrayed in a very lax way.
That teacher was
What-
coming
what-
from the
what-
toilet.
what
I don't know if
happened?
he washed his
He
hands.
didn't wash his hands, bro.
He left the class empty like that. The police
Yeah.
officers were there and he came in afterwards.
Yeah. So it's a very, for me, I definitely get the very wrong portrayal of teachers.
They get
And-
spoken to anyhow. Sorry.
By kids, by police officers, and by those who I think just because they're at the top and they have the title of headship, or those people who had the title of senior leadership, they can just speak to any other member of staff anyhow. Don't, because at the end of the day, I'm still a human being, so please watch yourself. But there's so many different portrayals of people one being teachers. My second, which, you know, really hits home to me, is how they depicted his mother, the boy's mother. You know, I didn't like it.
She wasn't depicted as anything.
You know what?
Exactly.
Nah, I'm gonna
That's
definitely
the
watch
point.
this now because
She wasn't depicted as anything. And
She
then,
didn't have a say.
Yeah.
She really didn't.
She
have
was
a say.
literally
From what
And
I
then
voiceless.
everything she was asking, like, why did he choose
Yeah.
you? It was
Yeah.
like a shock to her that the
Yeah.
boy chose the dad.
Yeah.
chose that for what?
Oh.
to be with
appropriate
their
adult.
son.
As a
Appropriate
representative,
adult. Yeah.
Whereas
that
I think
before.
wasn't the son closer to the mum though, more than
We
it
don't
was-
know. We
By
don't
the looks
see
of
that.
things, it seemed
yeah,
that
I'm
way.
sure
It
it
seemed that way.
was,
I mean,
yeah.
I know, Philip, you can fill us in if it was. Hit us up our emails down below. Let's talk about this a bit more further. Yeah. But that's my general
But what if he
understanding.
didn't want to, like, his mom to, do you know, when it comes to, because of the line of work that I've worked in before, anybody can be an appropriate adult. Anybody can be an appropriate adult. Do you get me? So maybe he did not want his mom to hear certain things because his mom has him in a certain limelight.
And his
Do you get me?
mum is a
So
woman.
he didn't want her to look at him and be like, "This is my innocent child." Like, oh, like,
Well, you should have
And his
seen.
mum
Do
is
you
a
understand?
woman, which
No.
is a main part of why this unraveled.
so why?
Because of his opinion of how women should be.
Yeah.
What was his opinion?
Andrew
You really
Tate.
need to
You
watch
need to
it.
watch
You
episode
really need to
4. I
watch it.
can't
Just
lie.
give his opinion.
You really
Just
Like,
give his
need to
opinion.
I mean, the way he treated, and I say women because how he would speak to male officers was quite like assertive and in agreement with them, and you know, he would basically respect their authority. But when it came to female prison officers, or the female psychiatrist or any other female in the vicinity of this production, he spoke to them like as if they were trash.
Now,
Like
there's a
as if
saying, there's a Congolese saying, "So kolingo yo ba mwana, talaba pahana ba o." In the sense,
you
as
better
in,
go tell that to Philip.
you will see, in a sense, as in, if in the series, or in the drama, the child and the father is shown to be Papa Mowbray, as I look like controlling and he speaks down to the mother, that's what the child has learned that from. Because at the end, that's what he's seen at home. You're forgetting. So I get it. You're right in what you're saying, and that's a good example. But it's what I see and what we see in our society. And I will explain in a sense why I say that. There's certain kids that in their culture, they just know that Mosi is for cooking and giving birth to kids. Do you understand? There's certain kids who, no, you know what? We're equal. You know what? I play my part, you play your part. There's certain kids, there's certain roles, they know that, you know what? A man has to be like this and a woman doesn't have a power for it. Does that make sense? So what they've shown there, they're trying to make you, they're trying to show the world that there's also this that go on. Now, I used to work as a support worker and post-16. The way a child will speak to a male and the way he will speak to a female worker, it will be so different. And what you've just said, that I've witnessed it. You get me? Sometimes it will be where you're trying to get bad to a man so that he can show that he's bad.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Trying to
Masculinity.
show that.
Let me land on this. That's exactly what they were trying to portray. You know, the creators, Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham, they did that purposefully. Now, many people say, "Oh my gosh, it's disgusting the way that he was speaking to all these female characters in the film, in the series." But it was purposely created because of that. This kid was showing no level of authority to any of these females, and I say any, including his mother, completely disregarding her. And at the same time, he was more or less expressing that they don't have a place of authority to be giving to anybody.
But it's a learned behavior.
As much as it is a learned behavior, I agree, it can stem from home, but I think it can also manifest from the different platforms that they are exposing themselves to. In other words, social media. Who do you look up to?
That's where
your
Lufa-
friendships. Do you know? Like, it can manifest and can be taken from those little, you know, seeds of inspiration that he can say. Like, yeah, you know what? Okay, fine. I can do this. I can do that. So, for example, another spoiler alert. In the midst of the actual series, he is asked countless times, where did he get the weapon from? This kitchen knife. And he didn't say where, but then he eventually, so the police officers eventually found out that it was his friend who gave it to him, who was another boy, he was also in the same sort of frame of mind that he was in, where they weren't being acknowledged by girls, they weren't being, you know, going on dates or, you know, having girlfriends, doing the things that young boys and girls are supposed to do.
Them? Stem cells?
Stem cells?
Stem cells?
No, I know what you mean, but I forgot the name.
Stem cells.
Stems.
Not stem cells.
Stem cells is
Sorry.
crazy.
Not stem cells. Incels.
That's the one.
Stem cells.
I think it's scientific.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think as much as I love our culture, I think our culture has a big role to play when it comes to how women are treated and viewed. For example, in music videos, music lyrics.
When we say culture, are we
TV
speaking Congolese?
No, I'm talking
African?
the black in
urban
general. This
culture.
includes
Yeah, the
black
urban.
African, black Americans. Like it includes all of it, especially black Americans.
Black
I always say this,
European.
and this is no disrespect to anybody, but black Americans are the worst representation of black people to ever come to light.
Existence.
And the reason I say this is because they don't the value of women that they put in women is very low. Like,
No,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
at the
Even
same-
wait, let me like. Even in their lyrics and how they speak, how they treat a woman, using the B word, what do you call it? Even like when they talk about even the baby mums. Like for me, it's like, how can you disrespect someone that's
But at the same time
that's
as well,
carried
wait,
a child?
you see what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
no,
Sexy
no.
Red is there as well.
No. This
So-
is what I'm saying. I'm saying that all
Who's Sexy Red?
everybody's played their role.
baby daddy.
Like, this is what I'm saying. But all of
God
them have played a
forbid.
role in the culture on how everything's viewed. So, for example, the women now in this generation, the way they view men is very little, very very little. There's not even respect. There's no respect because of
It
people
all
like
stems
Cardi
from
B,
your training though.
Cardi B, Sexy Red, all these. When she's saying "F my baby daddy" or
Yeah,
she's
but-
saying, you know, my
Cardi-
coochie pink, my booty hole, this,
Brown.
Like, do you get what I'm saying?
No,
no, listen,
to me, it's
listen,
like,
listen.
what are you teaching?
Let me just
the
say
kids?
something, yeah? Go on,
What are
H,
you
go on.
what are you teaching the kids of that generation? So, because the kids that are singing it, they're not 30-year-olds. They're little kids. They're 13, 15, 16.
Like when that
Do you get
song,
what I'm saying?
WAP
When it
came
comes
out,
on, they
my
go.
But
goodness.
do you know what is?
But
You
know
see
what's
some
mad?
of these artists, yeah?
Wait, you see with what? Cardi B even said it herself. She doesn't let her kids listen to her own songs.
So
Why are
here-
you letting your child listen to your song? Do you get what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is, yeah, this is my argument. This is my counter argument.
Yeah.
We all have a choice. And hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
When I say we'll have a choice, yeah, in your household,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that's not going to be able to be ran. There's a lot of music, or a lot of certain plays can't run.
Mm-hmm.
Get me? Now, those parents who allow those things to go on, for them is unnormal. So the way us Brits
Mm-hmm.
and the African Americans are, two different cultures, two different countries.
But very similar.
Yeah, yes, very similar
Very
indeed, sorry. But however,
Indeed.
for them, a lot of things are normal. 3-2. A lot of things is normal for them.
Who's
Do you get
keeping
me?
a tally?
So it's a matter of, okay, cool. They've got a bigger audience, bigger country, and a bigger culture.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's where that's where hip hop and music comes from.
Yeah.
So for them, it's what they say, it's what goes.
Yeah.
That's why there's certain things you need to look over when it comes to your kids listening to it. If those artists themselves are saying that we don't do this, get me? It's like basically going to a job. You're going to a job to get paid. They have to release their music to get paid and influence certain people. For example, my anxiety.
Oh,
Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah, who
Will
hasn't?
Smith one.
Okay,
Me?
but you see that
Yes,
song?
you have heard it.
Yeah, that's you calling on anxiety. Do you understand me? You're calling on something that it's not nice, but people are singing it as it's normal. Going back to what you're saying, influence comes from many things. Yeah, if we speak about our own culture, yeah.
No,
Um,
Congolese culture is
No,
terrible.
when I say
Ter-
our own
awful,
culture,
terrible.
yeah.
Terrible. When it comes to women, terrible.
When I say in
Terrible.
the
I'm-
treatment and portrayal of women, I
Terrible.
think
I
we
say,
can do better.
We'll get
what
to
I'm
that.
trying to say in a sense is in like, there are certain cultures women don't even have a say.
Exactly. Congolese culture.
Women that have value.
Congolese culture.
You get me? And women,
Yeah.
women are not. There's certain cultures. I'm not gonna be a tribaliste.
Come on.
This is why I'm not saying certain tribes.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But it's knowing how to treat certain people.
Yeah.
It's knowing how to be nice to certain people.
Yeah.
If now all back here, nandago na ngai na yoka muzika mukilite. You get me? But pande know when you go to a party, boy, you can muzika mukili, and your kids are learning things like that. That means kind of going against what you're teaching them. And then slowly your child's gonna start wanting to do other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The same way you said about the two friends, yeah, the way where you got the border from, the shank from, yeah, it's because they've got the same mentality. They've got the same
Birds of the
mentality,
same
same. Do you get me?
feathers?
But interestingly,
No,
though,
birds of the same
there was a third friend who
Bird of the same flock. My
I
goodness.
said bird of the same
Feather
feathers
flock together. He said bird of the same flock.
Jesus
Anyway,
Lord.
English is not
Yeah,
your first
anyway,
language,
so,
bro.
so you see with the Congolese culture, one of the things that I disagree with is the way women are treated, in the sense of they're treated like the only purpose in life is to cook,
And
clean, and have kids. That's it. And to raise those kids, the man can go out and do whatever he wants. She steps out of line, obete bambata, she's gone back into. To me, it's like, that's not your child.
Uh-huh.
That is not your. I'll be damned if any
But
man.
do you know what?
Wait,
That's
wait,
not
wait,
just in
wait,
the Congolese
wait,
community,
wait.
though.
I know it's just African culture, but I'll be damned if anyone puts
Not
their
just in
hands
the
on my
African
sister
culture as well.
on some culture, because I will take you to heaven and back, and I promise that on everything I love. Because to me, it's so normalized the way women are treated in our culture that the parents don't realize that it's passed on. Do you get what I'm saying? I've witnessed certain things when I was younger that's been done to my mom, and I'm like, bro, how is this allowed? How is this normal? But you can't say, oh, no, that Kangilo Pango, I paid for you. Da, 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 da. You didn't buy the girl. That's and the Bible even tells you. The Bible says, this is your helper. It is your partner. You guys are meant to be that one. Do you get what I'm saying?
But
But it doesn't mean you have to raise it, bro. You see, as a man, let me tell you one thing. Let me give you guys a quote that I live like. Wait, listen. Let me tell you guys a quote that I live by. Yeah?
Oh, give us a quote. Go on,
quote I
H.
live by.
Go on,
A
another
lion
one.
doesn't have to roar to be feared. Meaning, as a man, all you need to do is use your voice. Your voice alone, from the way you're projecting your voice, she'll listen. Same with your kids, same with anybody. You don't need to be doing too much. Why are you getting physical with a woman?
Come on, H.
bro.
No,
Talk
do you know?
As a man,
Yeah,
if
no,
you lift
100%.
up-
You're
if
right.
you put
You're right
hands on
with
a
that,
woman,
yeah.
if you
But
put hands on a
you
woman,
see-
I think the
hold
man
on.
them should deal with you
No.
correctly.
You're right in all that, yeah. But not everybody has the intellectual. Whoa.
Jesus
Not
Lord.
everybody has the intellectual
Hey.
mind, yeah.
Chin
The
that.
talk,
to deal
that
with
talk.
certain
It's not rocket science to not hit someone, bro.
You see,
Come on,
females.
sis.
You see, when you're arguing with a female, she's gonna know what to say to press your buttons.
100.
If you don't have self-control to deal with her verbally, then you're gonna lose. You're gonna let your body.
Let
me wrap it up for us, hey. Let me.
No. Check.
Wait.
Before you say that, going back to what you're saying, right? If you can control yourself in a work environment, why can you not control yourself when you're at home? Because when that guy made that comment, it made you feel away, yes or no? About the 3-5 on the rise, right? You could have punched man up, you could have lost your mind, but no, you controlled yourself. So the same way you're controlling yourself when someone is testing you at work, why is it that you can't have the same restraint when you're in your house with your wife that you chose to marry? Because you knew Azaki Munoko. Do you get what I'm saying? You knew when you married her,
No, some
Azaki
hide it.
Munoko.
Some hide
Wait,
it.
you knew Azaki Munoko.
Some hide it.
You knew that she was a little spicy. You knew.
A woman,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So don't then
can
turn
hide.
around and be
Guys,
offended
can
when she's
hide.
showing
Guys,
you.
I go back the man.
No,
We were
bro.
talking about
Don't turn around.
adolescence here. Now it's about Congolese culture.
No. The reason I'm bringing that up
Everything
is because
connects together. Everything
he
connects
said
together.
because Vanessa said about the disrespect on women.
I hear it. And I have a baggage tag for you to just melt on
Alright,
and
go on.
marinate on whilst you're thinking about cultural indices.
I've got a lot to say on this topic.
Throw
but
it in
anyway,
there. Throw it
go
in
on.
there.
'Cause
So
I think it's
trigger
ridiculous.
warning on this baggage tag dilemma.
Trigger warning.
I'm 18, African, and living in the UK with my parents. I'm the youngest of 3. My older sister and brother both graduated from uni and are both doing their own thing. But uni's just not for me. I'm really into music and want to focus on rapping and making tracks. Thing is, I've ended up in a bad situation. I got stabbed in the back and I was in hospital for 5 days. Honestly, I'm lucky to be alive. It nearly killed me. Now, I'm just feeling lost. I don't know where to go from here. I really need some advice because I'm struggling to figure out my next step and what to do.
Crazy.
That's a lot
That's
to take, isn't it?
techie.
Yeah.
That is so techie.
I would
Does it specify what kind of music he's making?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I would like to first jump in and say your life, your health, both physical and mental and spiritual, is very important. I understand you're in this place of limbo where you're unsure what to do, how to do it, and how to make it or to get back to the same place or to a better place as you were before. It's clear that obviously this passion of music and being an artist is your forte. And that's where you want to go forward in. However, if you can see or you have just experienced a traumatizing event in your life that almost cost you your existence, just take some time to reflect. Take some time to review your surroundings. Take some time to review yourself. Seek advice from people who you know they can help you. And sometimes that may be parents, maybe siblings if you have any, maybe friends who have undergone the same sort of, pathway. But with that, I would highly urge you to have discernment and wisdom by choosing what you allow to be filtered into your ears. Because not every advice is the advice that you keep. I think it's quite heartbreaking to hear that. Only 18.
18 as
Yeah.
well, it's crazy.
Only 18.
To be fair, see, your environment matters a lot.
And your surroundings.
Yeah,
your
you're right.
friends.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
the-
but let me jump in. Let me jump in
go
quick
on.
time in. Yeah, I say this because there are certain people, for example, music. Like you said, it depends on what sort of line they're trying to go into when it comes to music.
Yeah.
It could be rap. Through that, you've been stabbed, or you've got stabbed because you're associated with somebody, or it could have been just a random attack.
Wrong place,
Do you
wrong
get me?
time.
So there's all that. There's been a lot in the past since we entered this new year. Every single time I'm on the internet, on Instagram, people are getting stabbed in London.
A lot.
And it's not the older generation, it's the
The
younger generation.
Young.
That's what I mean. So it's like there's so many, and also just because you're associated or you're with, that person, they've seen you with somebody, you're still a target. Do you understand? So it could be just something like that, or it could just be an innocent attack.
Yeah.
Now, music is profound. You can go into music in many ways, by the way. You can go into it through performing arts. You can go through playing in Broadway. You can go into music in many ways. It's just choosing what you know will benefit you. Because you could be working for places like Glastonbury. You could be working for the BBC. You can be working for certain places, but it's understanding which path are you wanting to take that's going to open doors and take you to different avenues. Do you understand me? Because we can say, because when I heard music, I said Mama Nangai because I'm thinking everybody wants to be a musician, but they don't know the hard work and the studio time, the dedication you have to
sacrifice,
do.
man.
Do you get me? You're sitting there, you get a writer's block, and you're thinking, "Feck, I can't write." So now you have to go and get inspiration over something that you didn't need to be inspiring you. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
music is too profound just to get an idea for something to do. But for me is stay grounded. Have a plan. I always say this, and it's something that I taught myself, and I always say is that you can never beat somebody with a plan. No matter who you are, if you think you're stronger than that person, but that person's got a plan against you, you're not gonna beat them, because when you have a plan, when all fails, you know how to alternate it so that you can at least succeed with that plan. So for me, it's like have a plan, focus on your mental health, have a good support system around you who will actually push you. Now, I'm going to focus on the support system is because as somebody of our skin color, people don't believe in us straight away.
Yeah.
People think, I never want to be. We've heard too many reviews before. There was a guy called Isaiah. His name is just Josiah. Yeah. He's an influencer. I remember that I spoke to him. I wanted to do content back in the days. We used to talk on Snapchat. He was like, bro, why are you scared? Like, why are you scared to do content? And he goes, have you ever been to Sainsbury's? I was thinking, brother, are you dumb? Yeah. Tesco's? Yeah. Asda's? Yeah. Do you buy bread? I'm like, yeah. How many brands of bread are there?
True.
I was like, oh. I clocked it straight away. What are you trying to say? There's different brands of bread, but people buy bread.
Yeah.
There's different sort of musicians who might do the same thing as you, but somebody out there will still want to listen to you. So if it's your dream for you to follow and to become an artist or whatever it is, pursue it. But just have the right support system around you and have faith in it. But yeah, H, what you got to say about this?
Ooh, for me, it's a bit
Oh,
from a
that breather,
different perspective, right? So the way I see music now is everyone wants to talk tough on a mic, right? And I always say, when you talk tough, someone's gonna check that gangster. Whether you want to or not, someone's going to check it to validate that, oh, you're actually about what you're saying you're about. So depending on what music and what message you're putting out there, if you're portraying yourself in a certain way, just know that you're gonna get attacked. I ain't never heard no R&B man get stabbed. If we're keeping it a buck, if we're keeping it 100, anyone that does R&B, I've not really heard anyone that does. Like, I'm talking R&B in the UK. I'm not talking about the United States.
I was about to say.
I was like,
There's-
Lloyd, Neo, Chris.
there's loads of them. But what I mean is, in today's music culture, everyone wants to do, when it comes to drill, everyone wants to be drilling. And drill is very violent. It's very like, oh, I've done this, I'm going to do this, and that. If you pull up, this is going to happen, right? So it's like, okay, what message are you putting out there? Because every action has a reaction. Do you get what I mean? So everything you do, you're going to have to answer for it. Whether it's on this earth or when you're gone, you're going to answer for everything that you do.
Hallelujah.
So what I'm saying is that watch your environment. If you're not from that background, and I always say this to everyone, if you're not from a background where you need to be rolled, don't be trying to prove a point to nobody.
Who are you trying to prove a point to?
Do you get what I mean? Like, don't be trying to prove a point to anybody, because that'll only lead to one thing. Like I said, someone's going to check that gangster. Secondly, take care of your mental health. Mental health is very, very important.
Très
Do you know what
important.
I'm saying? Especially from the age of, like, when you're 16 onwards, that you're going to be tested a lot because you're trying to figure stuff out and your mind is on overload because you don't know what to do with your life. You want to fit in somewhere. But I always say, be true to who you are. Don't pretend to be someone that you're not. Do you get what I'm saying? And this life, value your life. Value your life before anything else. You only get one. There's no two, there's no three, you only get one. So, like, he got stabbed. That could have gone so left. Do you get what I'm saying?
And he got stabbed on the back as well.
Yeah.
What
Do you
happens
get
now
what-
if it hits
paralyzed? There's so many. There's so many things. You can
muscles.
get paralyzed. You can die. You could puncture your heart. You could do so many different things to you. Where now mentally you've got PTSD for life. You're scarred for life. Your way of viewing life and different environments is gonna change completely.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna feel like, wow, what if? Do you get what I'm saying? You're gonna be on edge constantly. Do you get what I mean? So remove yourself from that situation. Take a break. If you need to even get out the UK and do it. Go somewhere, refresh your mind, reset, and know, okay, cool. If I want to do music, what is the message I'm pushing out? Because you're 18, but a 14-year-old could be listening to the songs that you're putting out and think, yeah, he's a cool guy. I want to be like him. Do you get what I'm saying? So before you do anything else, think of also your fans, the people that are listening to you, and what message you're putting out there. That's me.
Guys, I couldn't have said it better myself.
I felt like clapping, but you know what I mean?
I have been the voice of reasoning. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
I've been Hervé.
Bye.
I've been Vanessa.
And I've been the beautiful Cisse.
And this is Baggage Claim.
Baggage Claim.
Don't claim